Yes guys, in today's video I'm going to try and sound like Oasis with a Kemper profile rack. I'm going to be using 3 different guitars for today's episode, so let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley, and today I've been tasked with the job of sounding like Noel Gallagher from Oasis. Unless you've been living under a rock, you will have known that Oasis have recently formed a reunion tour for next year. Yeah, don't worry, I didn't get tickets either. So I thought it was only appropriate to try and sound like them in today's video. So first off, let's go to the stock room and pick out the first guitar. So now we've teleported to the stock room, let's pick out the first guitar. So early on in Noel Gallagher's career, he's been photographed with a lot of Les Pauls. And one of his most famous guitars is the Les Paul that he acquired from Johnny Marr, which is a real 59 Les Paul. We have a very similar 59 reissue Murphy Lab Gibson Custom Les Paul, which looks very similar to Noel's one. So we're going to hunt through our stock room now and see what we can find. This is the one. So here's the case of the first guitar, let's open it up. Wow, look at that burst. So this actually looks very similar to Noel Gallagher's personal burst that was gifted to him by Johnny Marr. As you can see, we've got this beautiful kind of heritage cherry finish. This is a heavy aged Murphy Lab, so you've got some really nice finish checking alongside some divots to the finish. A really nice dark rosewood fingerboard, and as we work our way down there, obviously with the beautiful headstock. This guitar is loaded with custom buckers, which are kind of like the modern version of a PAF, unpotted. So this is going to nail that early Oasis tone. So let's get it plugged in and see how it sounds. Okay, so how did I achieve that tone? So obviously I'm using this beautiful Les Paul 59 reissue, which is going to get very close to the sound of, some might say, as it was recorded on a Les Paul. Obviously these pickups have a really nice classic quality to them, nice custom bucker. I'm using an AC30 preset on my amplifier, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all the effects and just so you can hear the kind of bass tone. So this is AC30, a lot of mid-range, a lot of treble. So especially for the kind of chordal lines, as some might say, that's pretty much it with a little bit of reverb added. Obviously it's very dry at the moment, but that's getting that kind of classic British sound that Oasis are known for. What I'm then doing is adding a compressor just to boost a little bit of the guitar signal, just so it's a little bit more level. That in turn is also giving us a little bit more gain. I'm going to add a tube screamer as well. In terms of my settings, I've got the bass on 4, I've got the mid-range on 6, the treble on 6, and the presence on 4. So in turn, it creates a very bulky sound, which is great for British rock. What I'm then going to do in my After Effects section is add a little bit of reverb, which is just simulating the room. So you can hear there just a little bit of a delay. And I feel like this helps it sit in the mix a bit better. So the intro riff. I think that's pretty close to the original.
Some might say that we should never ponder on our thoughts today, 'cause they all sway over time. Some might say we will find a brighter day.
what I'm doing on the lead sections is adding basically like a digital delay, which is kind of replicating that space echo. We've probably got about 2 or 3 repeats there, and I've tap tempoed it to the song. So there's just a little bit more sustain now. What's also important is to note how Noel Gallagher picks the guitar. So naturally I have to change my vibrato from something that would be like something that's a little bit stiffer with the picking hand and the left hand. So when he does his bends, there's a lot of time. There's not a lot of vibrato to it, it's quite a stiff right hand, so I do a lot of downstrokes to get a little bit more treble out the amp. The main vibrato exists on the double stops like this line. So that's just a little observation I'd made whilst I was listening to the isolated track. So there's my some might say attempt. Let me know in the comment section below if you think I got close. For the second guitar, it's going to be a little bit of an unorthodox choice. In the video of Do You Know What I Mean, Noel Gallagher plays a 70s Flying V. And again, I think this was actually Johnny Marr's guitar that was gifted to Noel Gallagher or was borrowed for the video. But that was a 70s Flying V with the kind of rounded headstock, and it was known that Noel Gallagher would use that guitar often for the recordings of that era. Fortunately, again, we don't have a 70s V, but we do have a very nice custom shop Flying V. However, it's not Carina built, it actually has a mahogany body, so it'll be very similar to the Flying V that was used in the 70s. So let's get it out the rack and open it up. This is my favourite kind of version of the Flying V. I love a 59 V. So what lies inside is a 59 reissue Flying V. This is in a custom Telluride white finish, and it features that beautiful rosewood fingerboard. I really like these guitars because they've got that massive gaudy Gibson logo from the 50s. Obviously, this is the original design of how the Flying V was intended. The 70s one are very different. They have like a full pick guard on there. On his one, it has no chrome covers, and the headstock's rounded with the Gibson name on the truss rod cover. But in terms of tones, it's going to sound very, very similar. These pickups are slightly lower output than the other ones, so obviously we'll have to make up with that with some gain, but I think this will get very close to Do You Know What I Mean?
Step on the train alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born. The sun in the sky never raised the night to me. The bed on the track so musty night. People on the road and I feel fine. Don't run back 'cause you know what you might see.
So now moving on to Do You Know What I Mean? For the electric, I'm using this beautiful Flying V from Gibson Custom. This is a Telluride white one. So this has a mahogany construction, very similar to the 70s Vs that Noel Gallagher used. It has a little bit more of a thicker neck and obviously different voice pickups. I've changed my Kemper tone to a orange sound because I believe he used them in this era. So we've got a little bit more of that scooped kind of fuzzy sound that you get from a orange amp. So the bass tone without any pedals is this. So very dry so far, so a lot of the sound comes from the overdrive pedals that I'm adding. So I add my kind of deadly combo, which I always add to every amp, which is the compressor and the distortion pedal. In this case, it's a tube screamer, kind of like an 808. We start to get a bit more of that gain tone. sections, however, I use the delay again that I used for Some Might Say, but a little bit more potent on the sound. So if you hear this, there's a lot more delay there. And I also added a reverb pedal to, you know, bring out that more kind of spatial sound. Again, that's a lot more severe this time. I think especially for the harmonic bit, which nails the tone that he's getting there. For the main solo, which is did a lot more gain on the amplifier, so we're getting a little bit more output. But other than that, it's just the change of the guitar. Flying V's tend to have a bit more sustain than Les Pauls, especially because of the body size. So kind of goes into that infinite sustain. So I'm really happy with the tone I got for that. So let's move on to the final song. So the next guitar, which is for the song Wonderwall, we do have a very nice Gibson that we're going to use for today's video. So let's open it up. So what lies in this case is a very, very exclusive custom shop model. So this is a completely custom made Gibson recording model. Obviously very ornate acoustic, very nice big body size, similar to what Noel Gallagher would have used. Obviously I know he's famous for using SJ200s, but I think this will get very close to that Wonderwall sound. So let's go and plug it in.
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how.
So for Wonderwall, probably the most meme song on the planet, but it is actually a very, very nice song, and it is one of my favourites, a British classic. For the electric guitar parts, basically the job of the electric guitar in this is just to add a bit of thickness to the acoustic. We're going to do a few little melody lines, so I chose the Flying V again. I thought it was a really nice choice. I've rolled back the volume all the way to 7 on the volume and turned down the tone, and I've really brought back the gain. So this is kind of the tone that I'm getting straight up. And then for the chorus, I'm kind of doing this like melody line. With that delay and reverb, just supposed to sing over the top a little bit, add a little bit of texture. In the pre-chorus, you can really hear the electric guitar doing a lot of picking, which adds a lot of texture. So you go. Pretty much the same profile I used for Some Might Say because it's on the same album, but I rolled down the volume a lot and we've got a Flying V, so the tone is a little bit more stratty, which I think suits the track quite well. So now let's talk about the Gibson acoustic. So for Wonderwall, obviously not really much to report. All I've done is add a compressor on the Kemper and add some more bass response, just so the it sticks out a bit more, has a bit more bloom to the sound. So this is just the raw acoustic. That's the end of today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of these 3 guitars that I've chosen for these 3 tunes. I really appreciate the feedback. Do you own any Gibson guitars? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about your guys' collection. But thank you so much for watching Squealing Pig Guitars. My name is Ben Keightley and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. But until then, keep rocking guys. I'll see you soon.